focused into the Adobe and now Adobe, but at that point of time, Magento. So we started around from Magento 1.5 and are still associated with it. And during that journey, we got a problem for the search and discovery as a solution. And that's how we launched the product called Wizzy.ai. So it's a GPT-like search experience on the merchant store. So we provide search, filter, product recommendation, merchandising, and also we have a recently we have come up with some AI agents. I think what like will go through much more in detail in the future slides.
Okay, yeah, so basically what we are up for today, we would like to show you some business cases, how to make your business scalable, taking account that there are a lot of challenges in e-commerce. Margin going lower, prices are going also lower because like there is a huge competition in the market. You need to adapt to the current speed, like to be agile, and still like you need to make your business competitive. Like to make your business competitive with a lower margins, you need to scale. And normally what comes with a scale, it's a difficulty, right, Anik?
That's correct. Yeah. So if you see, right, in terms of a manual scaling, right, so the infrastructure-wise and the team-wide, it remains a very high demand. So with that, we have to come up with a processes with respect to AI, which can auto, I would say, scale it with respect to the at a server level, at a team level. So we have to just think on that how we can implement the use cases of AI on a processes oriented, which is more onto the which converts the manual intervention, which is more, I would say, more authenticated, and you can just make sure that with AI it becomes much more faster, clearer, and more accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the problem is very explicit. If you scale with, let's say, manual work, it can be easier sometimes to grow. But then you need to train people, you have a management overhead, and normally you're not able to descale your business when you're out of the high season, for example. So sometimes like it can be very painful and you still need time. Why we believe it's important to talk about it right here, right now? We are living in a very interesting world when super small companies can do the same what was possible only for enterprises like 5, 10 years ago. I believe we will see soon billion worth companies with a super small team like of 5 of 10 people with help of AI. That's why we would like to elaborate today how we can implement AI, what we can do with it, and how it can help your business in a smart way to scale without like hiring more people like to do a very predictable job. So it's not about just, let's say, letting it go, but use it as a leverage. It's a smart tool.
Yeah. So, like, instead, I will just share a few use cases that how we are using AI. So currently in our company, right? So we use a sales outbound approaches. For support tickets, we use our internal AI agents. What we have created, we are using Anatane frameworks and the flows for the sales automation processes, right? Also, like for the we deal with Magento, Shopify, and BigCommerce ecosystem. So for the implementation or the integrations of the certain third-party tools, like right, so we start using, I would say, AI agents, right, which we have built it on Cursor and other AI platforms like Google Integrity, right, and that's a, like we are easy to able to do the. We are a 20-member team, but yeah, we are what we were able to do 3 years ago. Now, this with the same team, I think we are almost 4x of what we can do with our support tickets or say sales automation or the say system integration tasks and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's categorize it. There are several business scenarios, very popular, super understandable. You have a support, you can add AI to support. It could be chatbot, it could be automation of, let's say, help desk, answering the tickets. It can be product development, creating fast prototyping, making sure you can collect, assess your requirements, and so on. It could be marketing when you are automating your business processes, tailoring a personalized experience for your clients, or it can be site operations, for example, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So, like for example, if you see in terms of like scenarios in the like e-commerce, like for example, like recently I was just talking, right, Lang Shop, right? So if you see that they have implemented AI at a simple converting of the languages, right? So it was a so simple use cases which can be now solved with AI, right? So a different use case, like for example, your product catalog data is in say English, right? And if people are searching on say Spanish, even if you don't have the catalog in the converted version, right? In that case, with use of AI, right, on the back end, you can easily like implement it, right? Even someone is searching for say other text, other languages, right? So still it understands it very well in terms of the use cases, and that's where the I think overall the e-commerce store or the things goes into the intelligence part of it with the use of the AI, right? And you can globally go it, right? So it's like not limited to the any specific market, right? As an e-commerce store with this type of AI implementations, right? So you can implement your open up the stores, like it's so easy to go global in that case. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, as we're already familiar with areas where you can get your implementation like of AI, let's start with the first use case. So how we in Amasty try to implement it in our customer service scenarios. To be honest, I hate bots on the website. When you come, like you writing something, you're explaining, you believe that it will, let's say, act accordingly to what you've done. And the best thing it can say to you after a while, okay, we are switching you to the human being. And after a while, you understand like that you need to repeat everything from scratch because nothing's stored. So when we tried to automate something like for Amasty, I decided like let's make it super smart. Let's understand where we have repeatable processes. We can super safe in a super safe way automate it, but still be superhuman. Like yesterday we heard on our opening speech that it's nice to be represented by a human. Like we can be empathic, but like why should we use our resources for repetitive processes that can be easily implemented, like automated? And one of these is like implementation in our support system. For example, like we have a lot of different extensions. There are a lot of local issues or conflicts between different extension providers. Even inside of our catalog, sometimes there are issues. So when person comes to support, he already describing the issue. We can just like support specialist writes to the our InFocus system, internal system, what the problem is. AI checks all relevances and returns back the result saying, okay, we already seen such kind of a problem 10 times. Here is a fix pack for it. So we can just provide the solution for the client in a minute. Before, it took us days sometimes to figure out what's happening and to develop this fix for the client. Another case is, let's say, changing language barrier. Raise your hand, please, who like operate on the US market and need to support two languages, like English and Spanish, for example, right? Is it more complicated to hire a person who fluently speak both, or it's not a problem? Not a real problem. So you're happy. Like for me, it's a problem to find a person who can natively speak, at least for example, Russian and English, or Polish and English. Normally, like there is an issue. And whereas you have a great technical specialist, but like his English is not very good. And when he describes the problem to the client is frustrated because he doesn't understand this language and what should be supposed to be done. So what we are doing, we are letting developer speak with AI his native language. and just then structuring properly to our client to follow a very straightforward process, what should be done step by step. And then we're adding the note. This ticket was, let's say, generated by AI. Normally, we hear so many good words and even more good ratings for AI-generated tickets than provided by humans. People appreciate that we are transparent, saying like, it's generated by AI, like if you have any issue, please follow back and like we will be happy to discuss it, like to fix it. But normally I'm saying, it's brilliant, it's nice, it's fast. We can like, we spent for implementation like several days, and now it saves us 10% of our time aggregating these tickets. Another one is testing and development. For example, you need to scan your code on all existing security breaches. You can just integrate AI into your pipeline, like for example, using N8N, and it says, okay, guys, you have a problem. You need to fix it. Or you're not following the code standards. Sometimes you can introduce some basic scanners inside the pipeline, and it was available for years. But now you can evolve and make very pretty things, like adding code reviews not by human beings, but also by AI, because code review is the longest process part of development. And then the same with testing. You can also check the results of the testing. Like we have automation of the testing, like a lot of test cases, but sometimes something fails. Someone should manually check it and understand, like, is it a real problem or it's our customization? So definitely AI here is a good aid. Another thing is gathering feedback from the customers. Like we receiving like huge amount of feedback. People normally are not, let's say, articulating the same language you are using inside of the company. We can call specific feature, for example, PDF customizer. They can say, this thing that I can use for attachment on my product form, right? So, and you need to understand what's product about, what is missing, what should be improved, and how to structure it like to a specific feature. Normally, you can assign AI to check all information that came to support, structure it by a product, structure it by a feature, prototype this feature, show it to the developer, and understand how long does it take to implement it. What was done like 4 weeks before, we can do like in hours now. So we're able to improve our, let's say, planning and save time on it. And one more thing is like about how it implemented in our products then. For example, you have a website. You already know, like, using your SEO tools. I don't know what you're using. It could be SEMrush. It could be our extension saying, like, you're missing several tags. Before, you had to go there and add these tags manually. Now you can just click one button saying, fix it for me. Content is missing, like, I don't know, titles like are not so pretty. You can make bulk update and generate proper titles, or make different experiments with product descriptions. You can make A/B testing, like, but the case is like you need to generate more content, and like it should be done easily with AI. It shouldn't be super personalized if it's about SEO, for example. The same is about product feeds. Now you can feed the data to OpenAI, for example, and it will soon merchandise it and sell it for you. It's already a decision point in chat, not in your website. Person goes to chat saying, I would like to buy a bike. What you will recommend for my case? You know me very well, and you receive just one link, you click it, and purchase it. Soon it will happen everything in the bot, and now you can feed this information to AI and make it your marketplace. And the same like with search, and he will elaborate about search a lot soon. And the case is that you're able to translate your website to any language you like, to find any context, even if person looks for grape cognac, oh, not grape cognac, peach cognac, and you know that it's Calvados, for example. But if he writes peach cognac, probably nothing will be found. But smart AI system can make it for you.
Yeah. So these are the few agents I think which we should consider for the discovery of the e-commerce store. So the first one is the catalog enrichment agent, right? So a very simple example, I would like say you say Adidas shoes or Reebok shoes, right? So if you see, right, so a shoe has a velcro on top of it, right? So certainly if someone puts on a search or on a chat on your e-commerce store that I'm looking for a shoes with a velcro, right, in white color under say $250, right? So all of this type of use cases are now possible with implementation of an AI agents on the or store, right, which provides you the very accurate and the relevant results out of it, right? And the catalog enrichment only does not work on the say the product images, right? It also works on the search context, right? So search context means, say for an example, if say I'm going to say Orlando or Florida, right, and looking for a T-shirt there, right? So it will sense it that okay, it's a bit colder than usually it used to be, right? So instead of a half sleeves, let's consider a full sleeves T-shirt, right? So search context or the catalog enrichment only does not work on the product image, but it also work on the other external factors. So this is a AI agent which automatically understands the other scenarios and provide the relevant discovery to the end users. So that's what I think AI has helped us to achieve this type of use cases. Next. Yeah. So there's then there's a few other agents like say for example it's a search intelligence agent, right? So it only does not say like analytical thoughts, but it also takes the decision on top of it, right? So say what are the top searches which are hitting on the website, right? What are the searches which are going to say zero results, or what are the searches which are going to say queries into a purchase queries? So it also learns on all top of it, right? And also say it learns the user behavior, right? So if some, just a very simple example, right, if someone is searching for t-shirts, right, and there are more than say 10,000 users searching on the same keyword on your website on a monthly basis, right? So it calculates what's the search density, right? Either the user are clicking the second product, fourth product, fifth product, what's the average search density out of it, right? And based on that, right, the system defines that okay, this particular search as a use case needs to take some action or not, right? So there's an agent working on the back end. It's called say a suggestion or say a search analytical agent which decides okay, the product ranking here is not that great, so you have to think on this, right? And all will be just not a analytical overview, but it will be a decision overview, right? A decision will be taken by an agent on your behalf, and it will be fully automated so that the ROI at end of the day increases a lot. Yeah. Then also on the search or a bot as a use case, if you consider there's a suggestion cleaner agent, right? So for an example, right, if you're selling say t-shirts or any other categories, right? So you would be having a categories like say men t-shirts, right, or say man hoodie t-shirts, right? So if you see the suggestions built up on the Magento stores especially, right, so there are like men t-shirts in men, right, as a gender, right? So this type of suggestions actually instead of enhancing the customer experience, it de-enhances the experience, right? So with the help of AI, we can usually use this AI agents on the back end which improves your suggestions, and it makes much more like relevant and the realistic, and it can be also personalized, right? So the agent would already know it, right? You are a man or a woman, right, and what age group you are, right? So based on that, the suggestions would be much more personalized, different, and I would say a cleaned suggestion you can see after implementing a AI suggestion cleaner agent on the Magento store.
So we basically covered scenarios that are related to the, say, back end of your business, but there are a lot of things that also can be covered from other perspective. Let's say how to scale your business with help of AI. And normally it comes like that it's pretty hard to scale content, like because you need to write it manually, personalize it. Brent made great workshop about it yesterday, so and he shown why it's important and it should be personalized. Uh, like visualizing content, like when you're creating personalized images, it's also a problem. So we will explore a little bit in details. So scaling content is hard because we need to hire people to write it for you. But at the moment, there are so many different solutions already pre-built and installed that you can, let's say, make just a trigger saying, when I am uploading new product to my catalog, please generate for it basic description based on a picture, for example, or based on a title, generate SEO tags for it, and make sure, let's say, format looks this way. So you can improve it later, but at least you can sell it in a minute, while before you spent hours for it. Uh, Next thing is generation of images. Sometimes, like, you're missing the image, and it's better to show at least some kind of generated image instead of showing nothing. Now, like, it's super easy with current Nano Banana models like DALL-E 2. Just say, I would like to see digital watches. Black. That's it. So what we've done, normally, like, we found that there are a lot of customers, smaller customers, on Shopify. And we can generate huge traffic there, test some ideas, and implement the best ideas into Adobe solution, for example, Adobe Page Builder, because normally technologies, like implementation of technology is pretty same. So what we're doing at the moment, we're checking all our hypotheses on Shopify market, on the small clients, proving what people like, what not, and implementing them in a Builder application. At first, we made like content generation for Shopify. Then we understood it works. What are the best features? What is the heaviest demand there? And implemented it for App Builder. One more thing, like what Aenik will elaborate in details, it's translation. Let's imagine you have database normally in English, but your Spanish client comes and asks for something in Spanish. Normally, how Magento will respond, like if there is no smart integration inside, nothing was found. But it's super easy task to check every nothing was found keyword and ask to provide you, let's say, synonym in specific language. So you are getting your client happy and you selling more.
Yeah. So I think that's what the Sergej told. We do the similar thing. Yeah. So this was a like evolution of the search in the e-commerce, right? So in I would say in 1990s we started with a keyword based search, right? It's more of a textual, or you can say a textual based search. Then in 2010 we usually moved to the semantic use cases, where it was more of a 2-3 keywords, like say t-shirts for men, t-shirts for women, right? So all of those are the semantic use cases, right? From semantic, then we are in the era of almost a very faster, I would say, a conversational and an agentic use cases, right? So conversational search is like you are discussing with the bot, like a chat GPT, Gemini, or Perplexity, right? And based on that, it understands the intent of the user, right, what he or she is looking for, and provide you the nearest to the accurate and much more personalized use cases, right? Because the AI agents, or the AI what you're using, they know much more better of yourself than even we know ourselves, right? And I think the current emerging is more than agentic as a use case, right? So agentic means like an agent will decide that, okay, which t-shirts or which shoes you should wear, and the agent would order for you, and right, and you will be surprised seeing all of those things. So we are just, I would say, a year or so away from those type of an era, right? Yeah. So these are the few recent use case what we recently did it at Wizzy. It was one of a customer called Gift Express. Around 58% if you see the revenue was drive through search, and an average AOV was around $94. But after implementing the search and the conversational AI use cases on their website, the AOV also increased from $94 to $108 dollars. Yeah. Yeah. This is the AI native search models, I would say. So these are the few use cases which we have to learn it at our end in terms of AI agents, which we implemented on the Magento stores or the Shopify stores where we implemented. So we understand the intent of the user, we understand the attributes, the context, right, and the language nuances. We try to understand. Language nuances are the same thing, right? That if you are like, catalog data is in English, but yeah, someone is searching in Spanish or say in the different language, right? Still, it understands the language nuances. Even the content of the catalog is not feeded into with this with those language itself. Yeah.
So, looks very optimistic, but let's say, let me little bit negative as well. There's problems where normally AI doesn't work. Like, and we stumbled on this stone several times, and we understood that the adoption of our functionality, what we usually provide to our customers for free, is super minimal because there is a lack of trust to AI. They're saying, okay, I need something to control. If you implement something that customer doesn't understand, he will not use it. So it should be super small black box, easy to, let's say, to track the result, right? So you know what's in and what is expected result. Then like adoption goes higher. If it's something general and people don't understand how to use it, they will not use it. Another one, let's say there's a copyright. You're not able to generate any image you like. You should comply with what product you are selling. And like if you are infringing some kind of copyright, like if this person who you just generated allowed you to use their photo, probably it looks like a Brad Pitt. And you still need to validate the result. As Brent elaborated yesterday, you can generate any content you like, but then someone should proofread it, make sure it sounds natural. So it scales. It helps you to speed up your processes, but still we need a person in a loop. Anything else to add here?
Um, I think I would say majorly onto the on the cost part of it, which I think the earlier also Amit also like added into this, right? That like the $50 just went in 20 minutes, right? So I think say like AI definitely is very much useful, but yeah, we have to implement it the use cases where it is required, and actually it's where the customers pain points are getting solved, either the customer level or the teams level in terms of I think support or support ticket size, or in terms of handling the like the tech team with respect to the development or so, right? So all are the use cases which we should use it. Yeah.
Yeah, so what is a general takeaway? Like use AI as a leverage to scale your business. It's not about substituting the people. It's about making sure you can scale and make average person smarter. Like we have use cases where people who implement, for example, AI for accounting purposes normally start paying more to their employees. Why? Because they before hired several, I don't know, people to help to manually input invoice data, to structure data. Now they don't need it. They can assign their employees to do really smart job, to make hard decisions, while they can automate routine operation with AI. So let's say try it, make it controllable, do not make it big, make it easy to check, easy to proofread. It's better to have 5 small black boxes than one big. So basically that's it. Probably you would like to add something.
Yeah, I think that's what I think Sergej told, right? So basically, we, as I said that, right, we are using AI for the internal support tickets as well as for implementing it. I would say for the tech ecosystem to like get their I would say get their experience from say what we are doing it, say their efficiency from say X to 3X, implementing all of those AI tools and helping our end consumers or the end customers by implementing where it is required in the use cases of conversational search, filters, AI filters, and all of those. Yeah.
We're running out of time. Probably we have. No. Well. sorry, like we will be happy to answer any questions. You need to approach me somewhere in the area or any. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.